late. I lost track of time. My alarm went off there this week though, so that was a good thing. But no, I lost track of time. Saw my alarm. I was like, oh bollocks. So it took me a few extra minutes to get ready. So I do apologise. I'm a little late. But right, this week, guys, we're going to be venturing to the cavern. What man about the chasm? I'll also be showing you while doing the chasm, there's actually a secret boss in the area that most people tend to miss, so I'll be showing you where that guy is. Before we get started though, I've been waiting all week to... Don't you even start, you stroppy sod! You start, you get covered over. Don't even. He's been a right naughty bugger. He's in one of those moods today, having a right strop. But yeah, I've been waiting all bloody week to put these points in and see what we've got to do. Super weapon, radiant strike, Temple's Wrath, Armor Virtue, Healing Font. Aura's started. Head them. Oh shit, feet. No, it's not by. Stop trying to get rid of people, you stroppy sod. Echoing heal. You know, this I don't often bother with. I mean, it is quite a good ability to have. I think I've said this before, but I don't use it because I use Bond of Virtue. So I don't really see the point, because it only works if you're near each other, and if you've got a bunch of ranged attackers like archers and whatnot, you know, you've got a better chance of getting them healed if you're using Bond of Virtue rather than the Echoing Heal. Right, we're on the recovery. Say, well, I'll be making this for teamwork, so I'll be putting the recovery. Your recovery is increased by 20% for each ally within 30 foot, maximum of 5 allies. You gain an extra 10% more recovery from equipment. Actually, I'll have to give me a second before we get started. Ooh, there you go. Don't you eye me, you cheeky sod. I gotta check, because I've already got some equipment stocked up. I'm missing one piece for my armor, but I can't remember how much recovery is actually on it, to be honest. Got it all on me. I've transferred it over yet. Let's see, recovery. Alright, yeah, okay. I think I might go for the equipment one, to be honest, on this one. I got recovery for my allies. 20% recovery for allies within 30 foot of you, which works really well. The recovery from equipment one also works really well. That one is more a judgment call, to be honest, because this one, yeah, like I said, they both work really well. I've made a character, a paladin, with the same build on the Xbox as well, and I put recovery from equipment on that one, and it works quite well, up to 10% for all 5. Up to 20% for all 5 points in your allies, but like when you're teamed up with ranged characters, that one tends to be a bit iffy, because if they're not close enough to you when you're in a party with ranged characters, then you're pretty screwed. Oh, when you're doing when you're doing dungeons up against the boss and you're all close to each other, if you're all melee attackers, it's a different story. Your recovery goes through the roof. But, you know, like I said, that would be a judgment call. Peekaboo. We're going to show you the. Well, I'll show you the effects of the holy bonds one rather than restorative haste. Because the restorative haste, it is a good one. I mean, I'll show you them both. I can, you know, everyone gets a free respec token from the seer anyway, so I can show you both eventually. But for now, I'll put on the holy bonds, and then later on, I'll show you the restorative haste, what the difference is. Because, like I said, because the characters for the holy bonds one have got, you know, if they're not melee characters, the chances are they're not going to be in range to increase your recovery. So, although it increases your recovery more, if you're teamed up with a load of archers and bloody whatnot, then, you know, unless you stay next to them, then you're not really going to gain the benefits of holy bonds. That's right, give me a second because I lost track of time. I haven't actually had a chance to eat today, so I'm going to be eating while I'm streaming today. So give me a second, I can go get my food. Right then, sorry about that. So yeah, all these bloody events they got going on at the moment has been driving me up the wall. I feel like I haven't got time to do anything. See, no, it's not bad. Stop trying to get rid of people. Stop trying to get rid of people, you stroppy sod. Right then, let's
Protector's Enclave needs your help.
Earthly Valley, one is Protector and the Dark. Fire in the mountain, tools and farms. Aha, descent into the chasm.
Not every threat to Neverwinter is as far-flung as Icespire Peak. There's a very present danger right here in our own backyard. During the Cataclysm, a huge rift in the earth opened up beneath a portion of the city. We call it the Chasm, and it's a seemingly endless source of plague-changed monstrosities. The only thing standing between those creatures in the city is a unit known as Scar Company. I'm sure the soldiers of Scar Company would be grateful for any assistance you can offer. You should report to Captain Markath in the Chasm.
So, Captain Markath, it doesn't have any relation to... it doesn't have any relation to Elder Scrolls, does it, by any chance? Right then. Don't even... Don't even give me your ego, you cheeky sod. You can't have this, you can't have beans. Chasm.
Our courage lights our path.
Trade blue fire insignia for wards against unnatural powers. Rewards given for abomination slain.
Those plague fires get any worse, we'll be cut off before Christmas.
Trade blue fire insignia for wards against unnatural powers.
Now, I say that description is pretty understandable, don't you? You know, if everyone else has pretty much abandoned them, then, you know, they're bound to be dedicated to one another.
Hope you're ready to kill some plague changed. We've got a big quota to fill. All of them. You're here to help, and you ain't got any sign of the plague on you. You're either the bravest adventurer to wander with the Scar Keep, or the stupidest. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Mainly because we need the bodies. We're here because we volunteered to be the first line of defense against the plague changed. I guess you're here because the folks topside got my message about weird things going on around here. Well, weirder than normal. The folks topside don't like dealing with us much for fear of catching the plague. We only really get supplies when we get new recruits. The rest we have to scavenge from buildings here in the Chasm. We're running short on weapons and supplies to arm our soldiers. Real soon, we'll be using rocks, sticks, and harsh language. You look pretty well armed. You think you can help? Head into the broken barracks to the northwest, and recover whatever weapons and supplies you can find.
You see, that's messed up. Leave them, you know, they're there protecting the Chasm from plague changed and all that malarkey. And they only get supplies when they get new recruits. You know, considering how important their job is, you'd think that they'd put something in place to make sure that they get bloody the supplies that they need. I mean, Cawthorn, you know, you'll see the teleporters in a minute, take you to all these different bloody moats around the Chasm and everything. Why can't they put something like that in place to bloody, you know, to give them the bloody resources they need to protect everyone? After all, you know, if they run low on supplies, they can't defend bloody themselves, let alone the rest of bloody Neverwinter. Neverwinter are pretty much screwed and all become plague changed anyway. I don't know. Okay, what the fuck? Oh, weapons cache, right, okay. A minute there, I was confusing the quest. Wrong quest. It up with the quest that you get sent to the Chasm to do during as part of the Maze Engine campaign. Oh. I mean, once you hit level 60, I mean, I'll show you. I will show you in a later video. Won't start it yet, but there's oh, excuse me. Yeah, once you hit level 60, you'll unlock the Maze Engine prologue missions. They'll be from the guy on the horse near where you went to protect his enclave. He's captain something or another. He'll give you the mission to go to the Chandler farm. That's actually the prologue to the Maze Engine campaign. It's a set of quests that will introduce you to the characters that you'll meet as part of the Maze Engine. There's a quest I haven't actually picked up. Killing these floating eyeballs. These things. And he glitched. What? Screw you. Are you attacking me from all the way over there, you glitch piece of shit? Excuse my language. Really would be nice if they fixed some of these bugs.
Well done. Now we've got a chance to strike back at these creatures.
Say, well, why didn't you sound very grateful for the fact, considering the fact you've got no weapons and need me to go on a salvage run, cheeky sod?
We could really use someone like you at our forward base. I want you to report to Lieutenant Trell at Fort Precipice. But there is something you can do on your way. Maybe you've noticed those blue plague fire geysers nearby. They're setting the ruins ablaze and spawning all kinds of plague-changed creatures. If we don't do something soon, they'll overwhelm Scarkeep. Luckily, some of the recovered supplies included dwarven blasting runes. Tossing a rune into a plague fire geyser should cause it to collapse. I'd be obliged if you'd knock out a few geysers on your way to Fort Precipice.
Let's see.
They're always staring. Just staring, you know? Everyone who spends time here in the chasm is bothered by nightmares. It gets so a guy doesn't want to sleep, you know? For me, the nightmares are always the same. It's those blue fire eyes. Have you seen them? They're just horrible floating eyes. Nothing but an eye. Staring right at you. I can feel them staring at me, even behind the walls of the keep. I still feel it. They're staring at me, mocking me. Do me a favor, will ya? Put out a few of those eyes. It might not stop the nightmares, but I'll rest just a little better.
We cannot allow the Ustilagor population to grow unchecked. The chasm is overrun with all manner of abominations. Among them are the relatively harmless creatures known as Ustilagors. However, my research leads me to believe that the Ustilagor is merely the juvenile form of the much more deadly intellect predator. We need to exterminate these creatures while they are still vulnerable. Watch for flare-ups of plague fire. Such arcane fissures often act as portals, spilling forth swarms of repulsive Ustilagors. Captain Markath has authorized the granting of special reward seals for the most successful hunters.
I am not comfortable with this. Your research leads you to believe, so you don't know for sure. So you could be bloody wrong, we could be exterminating them for no reason. Oh.
Claim your bounty for slaying plague Jade horrors!
Go last two.
Yeah? You put out some of those blue fire eyes? Hey, yeah, I can feel it. They're not as much staring now. Nice work. Damn things really get on my nerves, you know?
Give me a sec. So I gotta love how some of these are actually outside of the area you're supposed to search.
The fight against the creatures of the chasm goes poorly. Their numbers seem limitless, while we are so few. So, you are the source of the blasts we heard coming from the burning road. Well done. I'm happy to have some of those geysers sealed, and even happier to have a volunteer to lend us a hand. Scar Company is a grim unit, but a proud one. We bore our company colors bravely into battle, but lost them in the fight when we were nearly overwhelmed. The loss of that banner feels like a personal insult to every soldier in this command. It would be a great boost to our faltering morale if you could recover it. If you manage to recapture the banner, bring it here and raise it on the flagpole above the battlements. But be forewarned, the place where it now lies is guarded by some of the most formidable creatures we have yet faced.
You ain't got the stink of the plague changed on you, so I assume you're here to help. You arrived too late to join our counter-offensive against the creatures of the chasm. Consider yourself lucky. We did pretty well at first, but then they brought up a pack of those Nothic brutes. Those beasties smashed our lines to pieces and cut down our spellcasters. Only a handful of us managed to retreat to this position. Now it looks like the enemy's gathering for an attack on the fort. We'll be hard-pressed to resist them, especially if they have a strong force of Nothic brutes in their vanguard. If you really want to help out, hunt down some Nothic brutes.
Best to remember the good times, don't you think?
Right, a quest's not available yet.
Trade blue fire insignia
There is a quest from that guy later on.
Yes, can I help you?
And this one is one of the race quests. Gives you for the tiefling. Oh, well.
Trade blue fire insignia for wards against unnatural powers.
Every failure of duty diminishes Torm, and every success adds to his luster. Many Scar Company soldiers fell in our counteroffensive, and their bodies were not recovered. Every surviving member of the company feels the shame of leaving slain comrades behind. Those soldiers deserve a proper funeral. I've asked Lieutenant Trull for permission to lead a recovery detail, but he is unwilling to risk the living for the sake of the dead. If the bodies were clearly marked and prepared for recovery, I am certain Lieutenant would allow a group of volunteers to recover the remains. I can supply you with marker flags and shrouds. Will you use them to mark our fallen comrades?
Alright, sorry about that. Okay. Like I said, was running a bit behind today. My alarm went off. I didn't really realise times I wasn't actually ready to stream, so like I had to get everything ready beforehand, and it was bloody early. So that's all done now though, so we'll go and do these quests now. It'll give us yeah, that little battle by there is actually the level 70 quest you get from the maze engine. I remember when I first played this game and seeing people running around, why the heck are they level 70 running around this area? And I went over, blooming trying to help, and bloody got slaughtered. I was like, oh, okay. Wasn't until I got the main campaign finished and unlocked the mace engine, started that I realised, oh, that's why. Hello, Cookie Crumb. You're my Crumpy. Are you my Crumpy? Are you my Crumpy Crumb? You're my Crumpy Crumb. Yeah, I'm ready, say. Hey! Are you demanding tribute, are you? Are you demanding tribute, my Emperor? Oh, what do you mean, are you go? Are you demanding tribute, my Emperor? Are you demanding tribute? You're demanding tribute, right, okay. These are not all there. Nope, I know you're not all there.
I was able to catch a glimpse of you in action from here. Best thing I've seen while on guard duty for a long, long time. I'm impressed. You've given us a fighting chance to hold this position. We're all obliged to you.
Too many good soldiers lost.
That is welcome news. Our fallen brothers will soon receive their last rites and a proper funeral pyre. Thank you, and may the blessings of Torm and Ilmater be upon you always.
Trade blue fire insignia for wards against unnatural powers.
Say the quest this guy has for you will unlock just before you go to the next area. Oh. Say it doesn't always show up though, so see. you just all let me waltz past you? Grab the flag. So you gotta be fair, these guys would be shit in a capture the flag. Because if that's like their idea of protecting their bloody flag, then yeah, they'd lose in no time.
That banner is more than a piece of cloth. It represents hope to every member of this company. By recovering it, you've helped restore our fighting spirit. We're ready to soldier on now. The entire company salutes you. The plague-changed creatures we face are formidable, but their lack of organization has always given us a small advantage. But now that advantage has been lost. When we launched our attack against the plague-changed, we discovered they were being controlled by a creature called Trokar the Firestarter. Trokar's a potent spellcaster, and savvy enough in the ways of war to control the mob of chaotic creatures he commands. Our scouts report he has taken up residence in the ruins just north of here. If we hope to halt the advance of the plague-changed, Trokar must be eliminated.
Duty, loyalty, righteousness.
These foes aren't worthy of our steel.
See, VIP making me get bloody careless. Why do I feel a prodigy song going on?
I defend the weak.
The fight... Well done! That's one less chasm-spawned monstrosity to deal with. We have a squad deeper in the chasm, guarding a Sun Elf sorcerer named Quorthon, who is studying the spell plague. He sends word he has gained insight into the true nature of the chasm and requires further assistance. Quorthon created and maintains the magic portals that allow us to move around the chasm. His research is vital to our mission. Follow the road downslope from Fort Precipice. You'll come to the first portal. Activate it, and you'll travel to an earth moat where you can find Quorthon.
Best to remember the good times, don't you think? You wouldn't know it today, but Private Mara Talaran was once a real heartbreaker. She was the toast of Neverwinter, with a crowd of suitors around her. Then she became spell-scarred. She's bitter about the way her life turned out. It's gotta be hard for someone who was once so beautiful to change like that. I'd like her to remember what it's like to be adored, even for a moment. Would you pick some of the rift roses that grow around here and take them to her, down at the scrying tower? Just tell her they're from an admirer.
can do better.
Find a few people down here that will give you different quests. This person here is one of them.
We thought we could cleanse the chasm on our own. We were wrong.
This is for the human.
Thank the gods! Did you get my call for reinforcements? Not that it matters. I'll take any help I can get at this point. The rest of my party has been captured by the plague changed. I fear they're trying to turn them into more of those monsters. We may have lost our last battle, but we were strong warriors all the same. If you can rescue my comrades, we may be able to strike back at the plague changed. To my knowledge, they are being held in the Arcanist Quarter.
The spell plague energies are building. We must act quickly. Welcome, my friend. As a wizard, I have a keen interest in all things arcane. The spell plague is no exception. I've gained some insights into the nature of these strange energies during my time here in the chasm. Perhaps we can help each other with our respective goals. I am in need of a magical power source to keep the warp gates running. Fortunately, a number of magical relics can still be salvaged from the ruins of the old Arcanist Quarter. The bizarre energies emanating from the chasm have rendered these items useless in regard to their original enchantments. However, I can still make good use of their residual magical energy. My warp gates are the only things that make travel here in the chasm possible, but to maintain them, I need those magic items. Your reputation precedes you, my friend, even down here. I believe you are just the person to assist a pair of Scar Company's more recent recruits. Be so good as to speak to Dorothea Linklater. She will tell you more.
I've never been part I'm of so fortunate like to have someone before. To lean on. Oh, it's you! I'm so happy to see you again. After the Plague Tower incident, Joseph and I made our way down here to join Scar Company. It's a hard life, but at least we're not being hunted by our own kind. But I'm worried for Joseph. His condition has gotten worse. I'm afraid he's on the verge of crossing over. I told Quarthon about that horrible Razad and the elixir he used to help me. Quarthon thinks he might be able to duplicate the elixir, but he needs ichor from plague-changed aberrations.
See, this now makes me giggle a little bit.
Trade blue fire insignia for wards against unnatural powers.
There's a bloody arcane kit right by here. Cawthorn's asking you to find arcane enchantments and all that, and there's an arcane altar right by here. Now, a religious kit or something like that, I can understand, or even a nature kit, but an arcane kit, considering how much he goes on about them needing the stuff. So I find that quite funny.
Even the spirits avoid this place.
Hey! You're a clever boy. Are you a clever boy? You're a clever boy. Go.
Only a fool or a hero would willingly pass this gate. Which are you, I wonder? What? Flowers? If this is some kind of joke, I swear I'll... No, wait, it's all right. I'll take them. From an admirer, you say? That's nice.
Hello! So
Maybe I should find
she also
help
gives you a
hold
quest
on.
later on.
Be on your guard. The Arcanist Quarter is...
It won't be long
filled with
before I leave
plague-changed
this world
creatures.
behind. But I'll take down a few more foul spawn before I go. Are you heading down to the Arcanist Quarter? There's a small cemetery there where minor wizards were once buried, but now the restless dead walk there. When the cemetery was still in use, it was blessed by priests of Kelemvor, Lord of the Dead. They placed powerful seals to ward off the curse of undeath. But I've seen with my own eyes that those seals are damaged. It wasn't easy, but I've obtained a new seal from one of Kelemvor's Doom Guides. If you were to replace an old broken seal with this new one, the cemetery might be cleansed of evil.
Hello! My companion insisted on picking fights again, apparently. these things, yeah, these are part of the event. The hourly event that goes on in the chasm. Oh, inventory. I'm not going to use that, so that can go. There is a meant to get. Forgot I hadn't claimed that today. Oh, those I don't need. Oh, excuse me. Oh.
If I make it out of here, I swear I'm going to take up farming. Am I glad to see you? I heard stories about how the Arcanist Quarter fell down here during the Cataclysm, and figured the whole place would be full of unclaimed magic trinkets. So I sneaked past those Scar Company guys to check it out. What a mistake! The only thing this place is full of is monsters! I'd sneak back to the surface except for those bug-eyed beasties, those plague gazers. I'm pretty sure they can spot you no matter how sneaky you are. If you could kill some of them off, I could make a break for it. Could you do that, please? How did I get myself into this? Great! Now maybe I can make my move. As soon as I work up my courage, anyway. Thanks for helping me out. Never thought I'd find a friend down here.
Say, there's me, bloody silly bugger, talking to everyone with my bloody mic turned off. I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on. See, my mind went blank there for a little while. Guys, I couldn't remember for the life of me where those bloody soldiers were.
Oh, good. Then it was worth all the effort it took to get that seal sent down from the folks up top. I'm a fighting man, not a cleric, but being so close to crossing over has me thinking a lot about death. I don't know what's in store for me on the other side, but the last thing I want is for these old bones to be walking around without me after I'm gone.
Ah, excellent. This will help keep the gates open for a while. This ichor is just what I need to finish my elixir. I only hope this experiment proves successful. Joseph Linkletter is a fine man and a terror to the foul spawn, but his condition has grown very dire. Lately, Joseph has been volunteering for the most dangerous missions, leading soldiers who are close to their final transformation into battle. I fear he may be seeking to end his own life to spare Dorothea. There. The elixir is complete. Take it to Joseph as quickly as you can. He is currently undertaking a mission over at Apprentice Row. While we are on the topic of gates and portals, there is another urgent matter you can help us with. It seems the foul spawn of the Chasm are attempting to build gates of their own. Such gates would allow them to bring hordes of aberrant creatures against Skarkeep. I have sensed a spike in arcane energy emanating from a nearby Earth mote. This can only mean that the foul spawn gates are nearing completion. These gates are powered by plague crystals. If these crystals are destroyed, the gates will be closed. For the sake of Neverwinter, smash those plague crystals.
Well, this is a relief. I was beginning to think I might have to make do on my own. You've saved us from complete failure, but most of us have lost our weapons. There's still work to be done here, and we'll need weapons to get it done. Fortunately, the Chasm has seen plenty of battles. I expect you can find some slightly used weapons all over down here. If you're able to bring me 5 usable specimens, we might manage to mount something resembling a counteroffensive.
These last days have been precious, in spite of everything. You? Yeah, but... never mind, it doesn't matter. Just stay back, friend. I'm not in my right mind half the time. I'm going to end it. I was just taking a moment to think about Dorothea. You know, every day we've had together has been a blessing from the gods, but look at me. It's best I just jump. An elixir? I don't know, but what have I got to lose? Give it here. It's working. The rage and madness slipping away. I feel like myself again, at least on the inside. You've bought me a few more days at least, and I'm going to make the most of them. Do me a favor, will you? Return to Dorothea and tell her I'll be coming back to her soon.
The elixir worked? Joseph will be coming back soon? Oh, thank you. I know most people would consider this life a kind of hell, but as long as Joseph is with me, I'm content. Bless you, friend.
I felt the ebbing of arcane energy as you brought the gates down. You have done well. This will go a long way toward ensuring the safety of Neverwinter. The Order of Blue Fire, under their false prophetess, Cenobith the Corrupter, is spreading a message of acceptance and submission in the face of the Spell Plague. Cenobith must be dealt with, but she stays hidden within the ruins of the old Cathedral of Mystra, which is sealed by powerful magical wards. Blue Flame Acolytes can pass these wards with the aid of a magical talisman, slay the Acolytes of Corruption, and search them for an Order of Blue Flame Talisman.
Right then. Why hasn't got yet? That guy. I know there's another guy around here somewhere that I'm gonna quest.
I sure hope this Quarthon fella knows what he's doing. I'm proud to say Scar Company has proven to be a thorn in the side of the foul spawn of the Chasm. They're eager to drive us out so they can pursue their plots unhindered. Knowing we depend on Quarthon's magical gates in order to operate in this hellish pit, they attack them whenever they see a chance. We're desperately short-handed and can really use help defending the gates. When the call goes out, a gate is under attack. Answer the call and drive back the enemy. Every soldier in Scar Company suffers from the spell plague. Eventually, the plague changes a person into something no longer human. Something terrible. We all make a promise to our comrades. When the time comes and we cross the line, our brothers in arms will make an end of it for us. We have plague-changed men over in Apprentice Row who need to be put out of their misery. But our orders are to guard the wizard Quarthon. You can do us a favor by killing any plague-changed soldier you encounter in Apprentice Row. It may seem harsh, but it's really an act of mercy.
Our courage lights our path.
Cookie Crumpet! Who's my grumpy grump? Oh. What's the matter, Crump? that, thank you. Turning into a berserker. Let's see. Okay.
Foes aren't worthy of our speed.
I'll just run past him.
I'm glad to hear you put those men out of their misery, but sad at the same time. You've done well. I could tell you are someone who knows what it means to keep a promise to a comrade in arms. Thanks.
was for when I think it's when you go down to the next level of the chasm. I think that one is. I think it's with this next, isn't it? Yeah.
Can you believe it? Most people flee at the mere mention of the spell plague, but there are some deluded fools who actually seek to embrace it. They call themselves the Order of Blue Fire, and their goal is to spread the spell plague in the name of enlightenment. Honestly, I don't know where they find madmen like these. There's a whole pack of them over in the unhallowed grounds right now, seeking to embrace the change. I think they need to embrace a few arrows before they cause some real harm. What do you say? Ready to rid the world of a few fools?
Again. I love the shopkeeper. Certainly saves you a lot of time travelling back and... Oh, no, don't mean to tell that. Travelling back and forth in different areas, trying to get your blooming inventory sorted out. go.
That's music to my ears. But those of us who are spell-scarred, the thought of those fools prattling on about how we should embrace the change. God, it makes me ill to just think about it. Death is too good for them. It's a good place to start.
Excellent work. With this talisman, it will be possible to penetrate Cenobith's lair. Here in the chasm, the Order of Blue Fires, led by a woman called Cenobith the Corrupter. It would be a service to us all if you could rid the world of this false prophetess. The talisman you captured should get you into the cathedral, but Cenobith will be protected by even stronger spells. She does not trust any single one of her followers with the means to summon her from her lair. But if you slay all her lieutenants and capture their talismans, you will have the means to call her forth and put an end to her evil.
They'll take some work, but better than killing Plague Change with our bare hands. Now that we've got our party together and armed ourselves, I have some bad news. The plague-changed monster that defeated us was not of the usual size. It was gigantic and terrible. I fear they are growing it to breach the defenses of Scarkeep. We were defeated before, but with your help, perhaps we can bring it down. Are you with us?
Seems like my only remaining pleasure comes from putting arrows.
This is the entrance to the cathedral.
I defend the weak.
You're not ready!
I mean, I can't really... I don't know whether anyone else has actually noticed this or not, how much they've made Mistra's statues look an awful lot like Joaquin's statues in a different in a different posture. You know, posed differently, but look very similar. Who wants to kill me? And again, inventory full. I am so looking forward to this refining event. Less than 2 weeks now. Less than 2 weeks, and it'll be here. So I hope you've all been stocking up for it, because you'll make a lot of progress in the refining event. So everything. Oh, it's not good. And if what I've heard is true, the developers admitting this is going to be the last refining event they'll be doing because they're bringing out the new refining system. So I don't know whether they mean that or whether it's just, whether they'll change their mind or whether, I'm not sure, but that's what they're saying at the moment, that that it's gonna be the last refining event. So I would recommend everybody make use of it. Oh my goodness, really? Can't be serious already. I didn't sell it, that's why. Duh. Oh my goodness. Go. So he has one of Joaquin's statues. Looks a lot like bloody Joaquin, different posture, but
We stand against the dark.
We thought we could cleanse the... We did it. We stemmed the tide. At great cost. I can only hope that others will come to stand against the plague changed.
The spell... You have done Neverwinter a great service. The doctrines of the Order of Blue Fire are pure madness. And believe me, I know that better than most. With Cenobith dead and the Blue Fire Accordance crippled, the way is now clear for you to continue your investigations deep within the chasm. I dare not go myself, for if the gates were to fail in my absence, we would be trapped in the chaotic depths below. You will not be without guidance, however, for I will send a part of my consciousness through the astral plane. Travel to the final gate, located on the unhallowed ground moat. It will take you deeper into the chasm. Look for my astral projection in the place called the Mystic Grotto.
Trade blue fire insignia for wards against unnatural powers.
Even the spirits avoid this place.
No, sorry, he is actually one of the race quest guys. Now that I remember. I remember when I got the quest off him now, I was actually teamed up with my friend who was playing an orc.
I defend the weak.
Okay. Now that we're in the area, I mentioned at the beginning that there was a secret boss in the chasm that most people tend to miss. I mean, he's not really that hard, but he does give you a trophy if you beat a trophy for beating him. And most people tend to miss him because he doesn't actually. The area that he's in doesn't actually appear on the map. So people often walk past him without even realizing he's there. So I'll show you where he is when we get closer to that area. Bugger.
A company of adventurers hired me to tow the equipment and look after the camp, but I don't think any of them are coming back.
Grumpy.
Before you my astral projection. Although I am not truly there, I can see and hear you perfectly. Though I am intangible, I'm aware of all that is going on around my astral projection. You, however, must act as my hands and legs if we are to continue my studies. As you may have deduced from the presence of our menial friend over there, you are not the first adventurer to pass this way. A rather large expedition came before you, but alas, it appears they met with disaster. Hardly surprising, really. They were all swagger and bravado, and no substance. Nonetheless, any notes or records they kept might provide important information. For all their shortcomings, the average adventurer seems to be quite keen on keeping a record of their deeds. Ego, I suppose. At any rate, be sure to gather up any journals you may discover. These caves mark the limit of my investigation into the chasm. I have begun to study the unusual crystal formations within these caverns, but relentless attacks by plague-changed creatures drove me to seek refuge in the Scrying Tower. It is my belief that certain of these crystals have the power to hold and store spell plague energy. If so, they could hold the key to our salvation or our destruction. Please gather some crystal samples for me to examine through my astral projection.
If I remember correctly, he gives you a quest as well. There we go.
Good to see a friendly face. I'm in a real fix. I ain't seen any of my employers since they went off to look at that big glowing rock. Leastwise, I ain't seen them like they was. The chasm has a way of changing folks. I'd hightail it out of here. Except if I go back to the Instruments Guild without my contract, they'll say that I deserted my employers and throw me out of the guild. Maybe you could find my contract on one of my old employers. I'm pretty sure you won't get a chance to ask them nicely, though. They've gotten pretty, well, surly.
Amazing. Well, this one's always bloody pain in the ass. There we go. Cookie crumpet. What's the matter, baby? You in one of those moods today, baby? You're in one of those moods today, you. You feeling all clingy? You feeling all clingy? Hey, well, don't worry, baby. I'll be done streaming soon. See, but I'm not letting you out while I'm streaming because I know you. You'll come over and try and tune my night. Oh, yes, exactly. Oh. I'll let you out when I'm finished. I'm almost finished. Don't even pull that one. Don't even pull that one, mister. Don't pull the guilt trip. Say, don't even. Say, there'll be no guilt trips, mister. I'll let you out when I'm finished. Right then. Oh. There we go. Crystals. See, give me a second. I will load up my iPad so I can have a look at your message while I'm playing. Let's see if I can find my iPad. What the fuck? Go. Hey, oh, hello. Okay, well, guys, like I've said before, if any of you have any questions and whatnot about the game, just let me know. I'll answer what I can. I mean, most character-wise, you know, I've played more as the paladin than anything. So, although I have got you know, I have got a bit of a grasp on the mechanics of the blooming game. You know, paladin is my specialty. I love this character. So underrated, it's unreal. A lot of people think that the cleric is the best healer on the game, and they just don't know what they're talking about. The cleric is a really good buffer, but the better healer is not a better healer than the paladin. Paladin's an awesome healer, as long as you know how to build it right. One more adventurer. See, when I tried the blooming cleric, I couldn't get along with it. I really couldn't. I don't like not being in. I don't like not being in the centre of the fight. I love being the main. I love being a melee character for one, which is part of the reason I couldn't get on with the cleric. But I just don't like the. I don't like the way that that you battle with it, because it's unlike with like the melee characters where it's like a semi-auto aiming. With the cleric, it's even worse, because you're you know, you have to aim everything that you want to attack. With melee characters, if you're in close proximity, it'll automatically target them. You know, with cleric, it doesn't do that. You've got to literally point at them to attack them, and
you've recovered
I can't stand it, because when you're there surrounded, when you're there surrounded by things and using some of your abilities, you know, you've got to rely on your abilities. And if you have, in early stages especially with cleric, if you haven't got enough recovery to recharge your abilities, you're constantly having to dodge here, there and everywhere, and then your stamina runs out. The dodging does my head in, having to dodge everything all the time because you can't take a hit. And in the early stages, you just don't have the attack power to fight off hordes of enemies. No, so it's like when you've got hordes of enemies and you don't have it, you know, you're having to constantly move around pointing at things to target them when you're low on recovery and everything. It just gets a pain in the ass. You know, it would be nice if it had the semi-auto aiming, so if your cursor's in close proximity, it'll start automatically going on them. That would be nice for the cleric.
Now,
otherwise it's just too much
hold
work.
them close to my astral projection,
You know,
so that I might have a
healing abilities on it. They're not overly powerful, but most of the healing with the cleric is done with heal over time. Whereas the paladin's got, it's got his heal over time abilities like Sanctuary, you know, cure wounds and whatnot. But it's healing font, the main heal over time. It's daily. But it's also got its Divine Call, which is an instant heal that gets stronger the more you use it.
My examination of the plague crystals and the journals you brought confirm my suspicions. The source of the corruption here in the chasm emanates from a twisted vein, the brightly glowing stone that hangs above this region. It is time to take this investigation to the next level. I'm sending my astral projection to that region called the Jagged Approach, which lies beyond the crystal caverns. Meet with me there.
henchman job in the chasm. No, sir. What a relief. My wife would kill me if I was to get fired from the Henchman's Guild. Hitching is all I know how to do. I'm much obliged to you, friend.
Hello! Huh? Say, but it's like, I mean, you know, there's nothing against the cleric or anything, you know. It is a good character. You know, it's just not for my playstyle. But it's like the difference is people who say that the cleric is the better healer of the two just don't know how to build a paladin. It's not that it's a better healer. It's got more heal over time effects. It's not overly amazing at healing large groups of people because most of its group healing is more area. It's more area of effect and a smaller area than the paladins. You've got to put stuff on the ground to heal people and stuff like that. But the cleric is the better buffer because the paladins is all radius. You have to be near the paladin. So if you're a ranged attacker, you know, you've got to stay within 30 foot of the paladin to be able to gain the buffs from it. So the cleric is the superior buffer, but not the superior healer. The superior healer is the paladin.
The very air. You stand now at the very threshold of the Twisted Fane. This is indeed a disturbing development. Foul spawn are gathering in the jagged approach in great numbers. From their behavior, it is clear that they have come to venerate the Twisted Fane in a grotesque mockery of a pilgrimage. Granting worship to such evil can only lead to trouble. You would be doing the world a favor if you were to destroy the foul spawn pilgrims infesting this area. The greatest threat to my studies here in the Caverns of Chaos are the abominations known as plague-changed maws. My art will usually allow me to defeat the other plague-changed creatures that infest this place, but I am not ashamed to admit those monstrosities are too much for me. I would be very grateful if you could thin the numbers of plague-changed maws here in the caverns. Perhaps then I will be able to resume my studies in a more corporeal form.
happening? I'm not going to be much longer. You, my strong. You laying the guilt trips on thick. You laying the guilt trips on thick today. Right, okay. What, charm alone's not working today, is it? Is that what it is? Charm alone's not working today. Ah, I see. I'm still not letting you out until I finish streaming because you'll chew my mic. Yeah, exactly. You'll try chewing my mic. I'm not letting you out until I finish. Don't even try pulling that one. Don't even try pulling that one. You can try and sweet talk me all you like. I'm still not letting you out until I'm finished streaming. Still not letting you out. Ready? Ready? Say.
Fine work. Extraplanar entities gain strength from worship, and while we cannot be certain a Twisted Fane is connected with such an entity, this is a case where it's better to be safe than sorry. You are stout-hearted, my friend. The very sight of those headless horrors chills my blood. The area known as the Twisted Fane seems to be the focal point for all corruption affecting the Chasm. Seek out the source of this corruption and eliminate it if you can.
There we go. Now, this is where I'll show you where that hidden boss guy is that I told you guys about. This dungeon by here, but most people don't realise that that little dead end on the map is actually another area. This isn't actually a dead end. And here he is. Most people miss him because most people think it is. Look at the map, even though it's shrouded, you can still see the map, and most people assume it's a dead end, so they don't come down there. And then they miss that, which gives you a trophy.
against the dark.
Are you giving me looks of anticipation? You're giving me looks of anticipation, right? Okay. You want to come out, you? You want to come out? Is that what's the? Or do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? Is that what you're after? Is it right? Okay. Say, well, a treat I can do, but I'm still not letting you out until I finish streaming because I know you. You will try and chew my microphone and try and take it off my head so I can't talk to anyone. Here you go. Somebody must have ventured in, yeah? There's an open treasure chest. Might have been how all that adventure party got blown in transformed. Yeah. Right, now that is completely messed up. It's 65% chance of success, but it succeeds on the first blooming try, and yet when I try to use a bloody 75% chance when it fails 3 times in a row. What is that about? I didn't kill him, so that looked a bit ominous. See, what's this about? Come on. Really? 65% chance of success, but I fail multiple times on a 75% chance. What's going on with these bloody percentages? Ah, inventory full. Lost. Right then. Keeps getting blocked. Let's sort this out. Ah. Ta-da!
These foes aren't worthy of our steel.
Above you hangs the dreaded twisted the very air. There was no apparent source of this evil within the twisted fane. I feared it would be so. But take heart. The destruction of the evil creatures found within the fane can only help our cause. Thanks to your heroic efforts here in the chasm, my research into the spell plague can continue. Furthermore, you have inspired the members of Scar Company, giving them hope and encouragement to continue their fight. I think the time has come for you to return to Sergeant Knox. He will certainly want to know what we have discovered here.
Say, well, I'm not traipsing all the way. God, I love the signpost. for a bit.
Defend the weak.
So, right then.
Protector's Enclave needs your help. I'll be honest with you. If it were up to me, we'd be doing a lot more to help out Scar Company. Unfortunately, the powers that be seem to think of Captain Markath and his command as expendable. It's a damn shame, but it sounds like you did your part and more down there. Fine work.
Well, guys, that's all for this week. I got a very impatient bird in the background who really wants to come out of his cage, and I can't let him out while I'm streaming because otherwise he will try and take my microphone off. Isn't that right, you? Isn't that right? That's right, exactly. So, well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show this week. Next week we will be in Rote Valley. We'll be doing the next stage of the Tyranny of Dragons, as well as the campaign. So I hope you all tune in next week, and I hope you have a good weekend. So you all take care, and thank you for watching.